How did you get your start and develop a passion for music and the violin?
So it actually did not begin with the violin. It started with the drums when I was 3. My parents got me a drum set because they wanted me to direct some of the energy that I had. So I started out with the drums, and then that was when I was 3. When I was 5, I enrolled in Parker Elementary, and we were blessed enough to have a music magnet program, and we got to choose an instrument. I chose the violin, which was the opposite of the drums, and that kind of has carried me through life at this point.
It is Black History Month, and we kind of want to talk about your music style. We know that hip hop and trap music is generally a pillar of our community, being the Black community, and it really gives people insight into some of our daily lives. So kind of explain why you think it's important to present these songs to the newer generation and people who may have not otherwise heard this music.
So the newer generation, I feel like that's the majority of the music that is listened to. It's just trap, a lot of electronic music. There's like a shift to, I guess, just like metal sounds combined with hip hop nowadays. So I think it's important to kind of juxtapose it with this classical instrument, because there's a lot of hierarchies created in music. Like you have the best music, which is classical music at the top, and then you have hip-hop music, but I'm trying to sort of find a way to bring those together and fuse them and really change what the ear hears when they think of a genre.
And your nonprofit, the Hood Orchestra, has millions of views on social media. I mean, I see you every day. You guys are trending. But some people may not understand that when you say Hood Orchestra, it's not really derogatory. You're not really calling the places that we're from, you know, a negative thing. So kind of speak to why you chose the name Hood Orchestra.
So I chose the name Hood Orchestra because I feel like the whole movement and the purpose of it is to show who we are through where we came from and what we've come through. And a lot of times the hood is associated with a lot of like derogatory, you know, hate, crime, and that causes people to kind of look away anytime they hear something that refers to that. However, we're speaking about our neighborhood in this context, which is where we came from.
And tell us more about what your organization does day to day, and why is it important that you said, I think you kind of said it a little bit, but why is it important to teach the kids this new music?
So our organization is geared towards going around to different schools, doing a lot of master classes, educating, inspiring, empowering the students to start creating themselves, and basically showing them how easy it is to really do whatever they want to do creatively. Because for me, all I had to do was really, for 1 year, just post myself playing, share my story through social media, and reach, you know, people across the world through telling my story. And so that's kind of what we inspired kids to do.
What were some of your influences growing up? Did you have any influences? Did you have any Black leaders that you looked up to in the third ward community where you're from that played music, or you were kind of like, this is the path that I want to take? Or did you become that influence for people if you didn't see it?
Nowadays, I'm becoming that influence, but back then, probably Ann Lundy. She's the music director of the Community Music Center of Houston, which is, they have the Scott Joplin Chamber Orchestra, which is, I think, the second Black chamber orchestra anywhere.
Wow.
And so I had the opportunity of playing with them, I think about 3 years ago. And when I saw that, that was my first time being in an all-Black orchestra ensemble, and I was like, wow, what is this? So she's kind of inspired me. She directs, and I kind of wanted to direct like that too.
And what have you learned since working under him? I know it's your mentor, cousin, but tell us what you've learned, and have you interacted with other kids? What are you guys doing in your community with this?
Well, Michael has taught me a lot with, he encouraged me to post more on my Instagram and try to get myself out there. And in that, I've gained some more traction from him and from by myself. And I think like my friends have seen that, and they've started to do the same thing. So he's helped me and encouraged me a lot throughout this whole journey.
And how can someone contact you to come into their classroom or to teach their kid one-on-one?
Our website is hoodorchestra.org. You can find us on Instagram at Hood Orchestra. Our email is hoodorchestramanagement@gmail.com. My email is michaelprinceviolin@gmail.com.